Today, we're going to talk about home, but we're going to start with a surprising, and maybe even a little unsettling idea about the one place you feel the most safe. The house you love is likely the single biggest obstacle to your long-term safety and independence. Let's just let that sit for a second. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? I mean, our home is our sanctuary, it's our comfort zone. But here's the truth. That very familiarity, that deep comfort, can actually blind us to hidden risks that become more and more significant over time. So, to really get to the bottom of this, we've laid out a clear 6-part roadmap. We'll start with facing the truth about your home, then dig into why it can become a risk. After that, we'll pinpoint 3 critical areas to focus on, walk through a practical safety audit, reframe how we think about this as an investment, and then wrap up with one simple, critical step you can take today. Okay, so let's start with this core idea, moving from sentimental attachment to what we'll call functional objectivity. We all have so many memories tied to our homes. That's what makes a house a home. But that powerful emotional connection can also create some pretty big blind spots. It can stop us from seeing our home for what it also is, a functional environment that needs to actively support us, both now and in the future. And that leads right into the big question, why? Why does our home, a place that's felt safe for decades, suddenly become a risk? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. The house isn't changing. We are. Our physical needs and abilities evolve. That one little step up to the front door that you never thought about, it can start to feel like a hurdle. That familiar walk down a dark hallway at night suddenly takes a little more concentration. The environment is the same, but how we interact with it is different. And look, this isn't just a feeling. The data on this is really stark. According to the CDC, over 80% of falls for older adults happen right inside the home. Think about that for a second. More than 4 out of 5. This isn't some abstract fear, it's a real statistical probability. And these accidents aren't happening in strange, dangerous places. They're happening in the living room, the bathroom, the kitchen, the very places we feel the most secure. This right here really shows the mental shift we need to make. So on the left, you've got the sentimental view. You see my cozy rug, it feels good, it looks nice. But when you look at it through the functional view on the right, that same rug becomes a trip hazard. My familiar staircase becomes a major fall risk. And that classic bathtub with its high sides, it's a slippery surface, plain and simple. It's about switching from that emotional lens to an objective one. Okay, so if the whole house has these potential risks, where in the world do you start? It can feel pretty overwhelming, but the key is to remember our main principle here. Readiness is measured by risk. You don't have to bubble wrap the entire house. Instead, we can tackle this really effectively by focusing our attention on 3 specific high-impact areas. And the tool we're going to use is this idea of functional objectivity. So what is that? It's simply the practice of looking at your home based on safety and ease of use and taking the emotional attachment out of the equation for a moment. For every part of your home, you just ask a simple question. Does this make my life safer and easier, or does it create a potential problem? It's a really powerful way to take back control. So where do we apply this new way of seeing things first? We zero in on these 3 high-risk functional zones. Number 1, the bathroom zone. Number 2, the entry and exit zone, so getting in and out of the house. And number 3, your interior pathways, the routes you walk every day. By focusing here, we can take care of the biggest risks in a way that's totally manageable. Let's start with zone 1, the bathroom. Statistically, this is the most dangerous room in the house for just about anybody, but especially as we get older. It's really the perfect storm of hazards. You've got wet surfaces, you've got slippery floors, and then you have high thresholds, like the wall of a bathtub or the lip of a shower, that you have to step over. It takes balance and strength, and it's a real point of danger. Next up is Zone 2, the entry and exit. We just don't think about the simple act of coming and going, but those moments are actually filled with risk. You might have steps to deal with, the lighting might be terrible, especially at night, and just trying to manage a doorway while you're carrying groceries or fumbling for your keys, it's so easy to lose your balance. We need to plan for these vulnerable moments. And finally, Zone 3, interior pathways. These are the routes you walk a dozen times a day without even thinking about it. From the bedroom to the kitchen, living room to the bathroom, these paths can have bad lighting, they can get cluttered up with furniture, and most importantly, they're often where you find the number 1 trip hazard of all time, the throw rug. Okay, so now that we've identified the what, those 3 high-risk zones, and the why, our changing needs, let's get to the how.
we're going to walk through a really simple 4-step audit you can use to check out your own home and turn what we've learned into real protective actions.
Here are the 4 steps. First, we'll do a walkthrough audit. Second, we're going to prioritize the absolute must-haves. Third, we'll tackle lighting as a top priority. And fourth, we'll think long-term and develop what we call a vertical access strategy. This is your game plan. All right, for step 1, the most important part is that second bullet point. Do this with someone else, a family member, a good friend, a neighbor. Why? Because you have probably stopped seeing the real risks in your own home. You automatically step over that curled up corner of the rub. You know exactly where that dark spot in the hallway is. A fresh pair of eyes will spot the hazards that have become invisible to you. Step 2 is all about making the biggest impact. If you only do one thing, make it this. Focus on the bathroom. And please notice the wording here. Secure, professionally mounted grab bars. This is not a suction cup bore you grab at the pharmacy. We're talking about a bar that is anchored right into the studs of the wall, one that can support your full body weight. You pair that with some non-slip flooring or a good mat, and you have just massively reduced the risk in that most dangerous zone. Step 3, lighting, is one of the cheapest and most effective ways to prevent falls. Just think about getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Fumbling around for a light switch in the dark is just a recipe for disaster. Simple, inexpensive sensor lights that pop on the moment you enter a room can completely eliminate that risk. High contrast switches also make a big difference. They're just easier to see and use. And step 4 is about playing the long game. A vertical access strategy sounds complicated, but it's just a way of asking, how am I going to deal with stairs down the road? For a lot of people, the answer is planning for first-floor living. Now, this doesn't mean you have to move your bedroom downstairs tomorrow. It just means you start thinking about it. Could that den become a bedroom? Is there a full bathroom on the main floor? Planning now prevents a crisis later. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds really expensive. So let's talk about that for a second. It is so important that we shift our thinking away from seeing these changes as a cost and start seeing them for what they are, an investment. An investment in your health, your safety, and your independence for the long haul. And this chart says it all. Look at the bar on the left. The cost of prevention, a few grab bars, some sensor lights, it's pretty small. Now look at the bar on the right. The cost of just one fall can be absolutely massive. You're talking medical bills, rehab, maybe even in-home care. The value of your independence is priceless. These small modifications are like a form of self-insurance, and the return on that investment is huge. So I really want you to hear this. Making these changes is not a concession to weakness. It is not admitting defeat. It is the exact opposite. It's an act of empowered safety planning. It's you taking charge. It's a statement of strength and foresight and a commitment to living a full, independent life in the home you love on your own terms. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, from the psychology of how we see our homes to the nuts and bolts of a safety audit. Now I want to boil all of this down into one final section and give you a single, manageable, critical first step you can take the minute this is over. So let me just ask you, are you ready to make that transformation? Are you ready to look at your home with fresh eyes and turn it from a potential obstacle into the secure foundation for the independent future that you absolutely deserve? If the answer is yes, this is where you start. This is your first action item. Don't worry about the whole house right now. Just go to the highest risk area, the bathroom, and ask yourself 2 simple, objective questions. Number 1, are there grab bars, and are they screwed securely into the wall? Give them a good tug. Number 2, is the floor non-slip, especially when it's wet? That's it. This one check is your starting point. In the end, that deep emotional desire we all have to stay in our homes has to be balanced with an objective, clear-eyed look at the real risks. The most helpful thing to remember is that you can do this, not by overhauling everything, but by focusing on those 3 functional zones, and starting with secured supports in the bathroom to prevent a life-altering fall. Because proactive planning is what transforms your home from a potential obstacle into a secure foundation. It's how you take control, ensuring your home continues to be a place of comfort, safety, and independence for many, many years to come.